I know you're coming up with a question, but can I interrupt and ask you a question instead? Because
Yeah,
I have a very interesting question for you here.
please do.
So, so this was a question I was asked from a Danish follower, and I haven't really like responded back in full because I'm still trying to gauge it. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So, what if a team this offseason just sheds a ton of money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And they
Yep.
just and they call up the Golden State Warriors and they go, "We'll take Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson's contracts off your hands." What is that worth?
I mean, I don't know that the Warriors want to do that trade. Is that crazy to say?
No, it might not be. I That's the thing. I legitimately don't know. I can find like 500 arguments on both sides for this.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're still not willing to be tricked by Andrew Wiggins, but Andrew Wiggins has been better in this role this year. Like he is like this is probably the best stretch of Andrew Wiggins' career, which is weird to say because he's got a very, very, very slightly above average PER. Uh, and Klay Thompson, I think there's just that emotional connection with the fan base that they're gonna want. Like I don't think they're gonna want a John Wall situation here where they give up on a guy because of a couple injuries and comes back and he looked pretty good. And they're like, oh crap,
Right.
we got rid of a franchise icon. We salary dumped a franchise icon for him to come back and still like that shot's probably not going away. He didn't really, the defense would be the bigger concern, but
Right.
yeah, I mean it's a good question, like because the Knicks will probably have enough for 2 max deals this summer. So like if the Knicks called the Warriors and said, we'll take these contracts. What do we have to give you in return? I think they would want and yeah, I mean multiple picks for sure, but
Including
that also
Minnesota's pick, right?
yeah, and then but yeah, I mean like I don't know if the Warriors have the incentive to give up that much to do this. I think they'd rather just be like, let's run this thing back. Let's add whoever we get with the Minnesota pick or have a completely unprotected 2022 pick. I don't know. I don't think that because I just don't think, especially with the free agency as it is, where so many top guys are already off the market. I don't think they're looking at this class being like, oh yeah, well we could if we free up $70 million of cap space, we can go out and get Giannis is gone. We're not unless Kawhi calls them and says, if you do this, we
Yeah.
we'll sign with you and leave Paul George in the dust.
As long as I get preferential treatment. Yeah.
But even I mean, Steph is on such a big deal, and Draymond is too.
I know.
It would be hard to. Yeah, I don't.
That's
think,
what I'm saying. 500 arguments for and against.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky question, but I don't think the Warriors have. I think the Warriors have incentive to just keep building on what they have and trying to bridge these two eras. For as much as we make fun of a lot of teams for trying to do that, there have been some that have successfully pulled it off.
I can't figure. I'm thinking of lopping this question for the timeline because I just didn't know if I would do that and people were like, shh, and it's just a home run answer. Like, you don't trade Klay Thompson. But, like, this is interesting, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun thought experiment, if nothing else.
Yeah.